Ladies and gentlemen, you'll notice I'm standing beside the podium because apparently I'm too short to see over the podium. Good evening, and thank you so much for coming out tonight. I would like to take this opportunity to invite you all to come in closer. We're not as scary as we may look after a whole day of binge watching some amazing content today. But I'd like to tee off the evening by introducing you to our MC for tonight, and that is the amazing Laurie Schwartz.
I'm actually wearing a little bit of a heel, which is unusual for me. Usually I'm wearing osteopedic. You know, I'm wearing comfortable shoes is what I'm saying. The walking store is where I shop. Anyway, what a fantastic day today. Let's have a big hand for all the filmmakers. Oh my God, so much great content in one day. And while he's here, let's have a big round of thanks for Victor Harwood, who always creates great events and who has really been so supportive of all these different organizations, but especially for women in film, and especially for women. So my history with Victor is long and sordid, but most immediately, I came to Victor a couple years ago, and I said, you know, we really need to create a women's summit inside of Digital Hollywood, just to sort of create a community of women who are in the, you know, entertainment, technology, media industry, and create some panels and curation around that so that we can just hear what each other's doing. Because what often happens in our world with women is that we don't like to be on panels, or we don't get paneled as often. We're just not out there as much in these kind of public forums. And so the idea behind creating the Women's Summit at Digital Hollywood was really to launch community. And so a few years later, it's evolved into a lot of different things, like tonight, where there's a number of different women's organizations who are hosting events. And so it's just so exciting to see something that we started a couple of years ago turn into this. So another hand for Victor, who just really, you know, it takes some vision, and if I may say, some balls to make some things happen. So I want to personally thank him for that. So my role in the world is I was at a ad agency for many years, and I was a technology catalyst, which is someone that helped the agency and all of our brands really understand what was happening in the media and tech space and how it was going to impact storytelling. And so I've recently launched my own brand called The Tech Cat, and I do a radio show, and please check it out if you get a chance. It's called The Tech Cat Show, and it's a podcast and all that kind of thing. But more importantly, you know, I'm a woman that speaks about tech, and so quite often in the early days of all this, I was the only woman in the room, right? And I always was trying to not make that a big deal. And one of the things that I was talking to Jen about was, what's so great about women in film is it's not about, you know, your crew has to be all women or the movies are only about women, but it's just, again, opening the door and lighting up community. Because, hey, we're 50% of the population. Culturally and genetically, we bring something wonderful to the table whenever we're given access. And so that's what this is all about, right? One of the things that I wanted to do just to kick off this wonderful night, which kicks off a wonderful day of content, is to talk a little bit about that idea that, you know, we need to be in front of people. You need to hear from us. We need to be infusing our world. And so I have a 6-year-old daughter, and what I've noticed is that she relates to all the women characters in anything that she watches, even if they have small roles. So this is one of her favorite characters. This is Fuli, and Fuli is the one female character on The Lion's Guard, which is a big Disney show, which she loves. And even though Fuli is not the star of the show, this is the character that she relates to the most. And at night, when she's having trouble falling asleep, she talks to me about how she's a cheetah running fast like Foley, right? So she instantly relates to that female character because, you know, that's what we all do, is we see things and then we want to be them. And that's why, again, it's so important that we infuse our culture with women characters, women ideas, you know, women concepts. So the other thing that happened, I'm sorry, I'm props girl today. The other thing that happened during the recent Star Wars release was that there weren't enough Rey dolls. Did anyone experience that, where you had a kid and they wanted the Rey doll? And that was a big deal, that the toy companies and everybody involved did not make Rey dolls. So as soon as these superhero girl dolls came out, I ran out and I bought all of them. So I have about 7 of these from Target. They are absolutely stunning, and I do not let my 6-year-old play with them because they're mine. But the idea is to have them around for inspiration, and also when I'm eating carbs, I look at them and I just think about the skirts and everything. But, you know, it's so important to have images around us that we can look up to and think about and idolize. And, you know, my last doll is just this one. You know, just, you know, I like to keep her around just to, you know, think about the future. But anyway, right, let's have a hand for that one. All right. So anyway, without further ado, just to kick off this great day and great night of really empowering women, and again, not saying that we're not part of a larger community of men, but just give us access, let us be a part of your world, let us infuse this. I want to do some thank yous to the folks that really created today and that worked so hard in addition to their regular jobs for women in film. So the team who brought you today's DigiFest is Corinne Julian. So Corinne, raise your hand. Wave. There she is. Unbelievable curation of great content and of working so hard to find great work. Jen Laria on the board, who also works so hard. Holly Paybury. Really the women driving all of this. And then Angela Getvan, right? Angela Getvan, who's actually a good friend. For some reason, I can't say names other than Schwartz. I don't know why. Schwartz rolls off the tongue, but Getvan's a little hard. Anyway, so let's have a big hand for today, and I'm bringing up Jen back up. So thank you so much, and enjoy tonight's festivities.
Thank you so much, Laura. I really appreciate the pep talk, and I want to know where you hide your dolls. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about Women in Film, who, of course, is responsible for curating today's content. Women in Film is a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to promoting equal opportunities for women, encouraging creative projects by women, and expanding and enhancing portrayals of women in all forms of global media. Given that women comprise 50% of the population, WIF's ultimate goal is to see the same gender parity reflected on and off screen. Founded in 1973, WIF focuses on advocacy and education, provides scholarships, grants, and film finishing funds, and works to preserve the legacies of all women working in the entertainment community. If you want to learn more about Women in Film and you didn't have a chance to stop by our booth where we had our membership applications, please feel free to go to www.wif.org. And if you have any questions about membership or need a sponsor, because you do need a letter of recommendation to join, please feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on Twitter at Jen Laraya, and I spell my name G-H-E-N, last name L-A-R-A-Y-A. You can find me on Facebook, and you can find me, of course, on Instagram. And I'd like to take the time right now to tell you a little bit about myself, because I was so inspired by today's content. If you guys had the chance to check out some of the fabulous content we screened today, in particular one that inspired me because I have a 20-month-old at home, is a branded content that was an advertising campaign sponsored by Gillette Venus. And it's called #UserAnd. So in introducing myself, I was inspired to tell you I am an entertainment and technology attorney, and I'm a board member of Women in Film, and I'm on the advisory board of Digital Hollywood, thanks to Victor. And I'm a mother, of course, of a fabulous little 20-month-old who just learned to talk. So I'm trying very carefully to make sure I use my and make sure that the other end of the and isn't a swear word when I'm in traffic on the 405. And I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce somebody else to use her and that is my fabulous colleague and co-curator, Karen Julian.
With all the end. Yes, I am an attorney in media, entertainment, and technology. I work for Jen. She's mean. And I am French. And I'm tired, so I may be saying stupid things at that one point. And I would love to introduce our past honoree, Holly, oui, who is going to be not only introducing herself tonight, explaining how she got to be one of the first honoree of DigiFest, and also gonna turn the awards for this year's honoree. Thank you.
Thank God I studied improv. I did not know this. I became the honoree because they loved a show I did, Feathers and Toast, that's on the web, which is very fun and playful. And yes, and Jen told me, because she's my attorney, that I have to use my hands, because basically I'm an artist that unfortunately doesn't leave the house much. So now I'm going to use my hands, so I'm a comedy writer, because that's a good plan. A producer, because somebody's got to produce my stuff. An artist supporter, because I love the artist journey more than anything in the world and want to support everyone. And a mom, and here I am now giving an award to somebody.
Let Karen plus put.
Okay.
This is the content that was shown throughout the day.
Amazing content throughout the day.
She doesn't think it's menopause. She said my They told you you could be anything. A beautiful astronaut, a soccer-playing ballerina, a superstar. Then said, here's what you really are, with a label that size you up and box you
So now we want to honor all the women that brought all that amazing content, everything from the comedy to drama to inspirational branding type content to reality and to documentaries that probe deep into the underlying of a legend. So I would like to call up Amy Goddard, who's responsible for Another Day with You. Do that one at a time? Yeah. Yay! You brought us a very funny look at relationships.
What a perfect gift for a woman. Thank you so much. I am so honored to be here today. I had an opportunity to say at my panel that 2 years ago I had an idea to make a web series because I was going back into work at my age after being home with my children for a long time, and everyone was looking at me sort of askance. So I said, well, I'm going to make my own material. I have no idea how to do that. Oh, there's this thing called Digital Hollywood. I think I'll go. So 2 years ago, I went to Digital Hollywood when it was still down in the marina, and I sat in on several panels, and I learned a lot, and now I'm here. It's just kind of amazing. I'm very, thank you. I'm so pleased and inspired to be here with this incredible content too. It's just, it was wonderful. I'm looking forward to getting to know all of you and your content better. And this has been a great festival. Thank you all so much. You guys did a great job. And I thank you very much. Check out Another Day with You. You can find us online. Oh, do we sit down?
And for our drama portion, for a lady who chose to tackle something as serious as Alzheimer's in such a beautiful, beautiful way, Cassie Cruz.
Lovely. Put that over here. I'm going to be the talking head. I'll stand over here because it's like you only see the head. I want to thank Women in Film for this honor and your recognition for this indie film that has truly morphed into a passion project for us all. I also want to thank our writer, Frankie Lauderdale, who meticulously started on this script more than 20 years ago and was herself a caregiver to her own mother with Alzheimer's. Actor-director Michael Worth, whose imagery set the tone and texture of the film. David Williams, whose musical brilliance gave this movie its emotional chord. Our executive producers, Gary Levinson and Dennis Ho, whose experience helped guide our production through a gauntlet of logistics. And finally, to our brilliant cast, who brought our wonderful characters to life. Kelly Grayson, Serena Vincent, Che Landon, Kirk Boville, Chris Fogelman, and especially Ivan Sergey and Rance Howard, who prompted many men to call their fathers after screening the film. Women in Film, your recognition and support of Broken Memories is an honor I and our entire crew will cherish forever. Thank you for supporting our film and bringing awareness to Alzheimer's, a disease that will affect more than 50% of all Americans in years to come.
And this one is for an awesome commercial director who used a brand marketing opportunity to actually give a voice to young ladies in such an awesome way and is still talking to them to this day. Amy Hill.
Hi there. I did not know I was going to be talking. I had a great day. I've had a great 3 days actually here. This is my first time I've ever done anything like this. I've been hiding for 18 years, working diligently, nonstop. I've been very lucky, but In 1998, my husband and I were nominated for a DGA Commercial Directing Award after, maybe it was 99, after 1 year of working, first year. And we kind of got shot out of a cannon and never looked back. And then, I think it was last year, do you guys remember that campaign, Like a Girl, Throw Like a Girl? Got a lot of play. The female that directed that got nominated for a DGA award, and an article came out in our industry magazine and said that she was the second female to ever be nominated. The first was Amy Hill. I didn't even know. I didn't even know I held that record for 17 years. That's how in the dark I'd been. And so I realized I needed to do something. I needed to speak up and start talking about certainly my business, the commercial business, what it's like to be a female in a really, really male-heavy world. And so I joined Women in Film, and literally just not so long ago, and I'm incredibly honored to be a part of this. It's been a great experience, and I look forward to more of it. Thank you very much.
And for a lady who helps us see ourselves and gives us tips on how to live a better life, frankly, Isabel LaRue.
Wow, this is an amazing honor. When I started working on this, I had no idea what I was doing. I'm not from the industry. I have a lot of ands. I'm a building engineer by training. I then went on to work in marketing and market research. And I was inspired to do the show on how to decorate your space, your apartment, most specifically rental apartments, because there was nothing out there that was really representative of what I could do in my little space with the limited resources that I had. So I went on to teach myself everything from producing to filming to editing, and it's been an incredible journey. It's been an incredibly hard journey, a lot of ups and downs, but I wouldn't take it back for anything. It's been truly an amazing experience, and thank you so much to Women in Film for recognizing the work. It's a lot of work, but it's the best thing I've ever done, and I really want to encourage everybody out there that has a passion to just go ahead and take the leap and follow it, because you never know, you might be standing at a podium like this after working by yourself and not knowing that anybody really looked at it and thought it was great. So thank you for the recognition. It's really appreciated.
All right, and to a lady who brings us all the important stuff, words, wine, and women. Yeah, Tara Johnson.
Wow, this is pretty cool, I must say. Thank you very much. Thanks to Digital Hollywood and Women in Film and everyone on the DigiFest committee. I really appreciate this, and anyone who's ever done anything like this knows that you never do this alone. So I would like to say, if you're looking for some pretty cool women out there, you should look for Mary Beth Gonzalez and Candace Stewart and Jackie Borowski and Dr. Shannon Chavez, because they're my 4 co-hosts who couldn't be here tonight, but they are most fantastic women I've ever met in my entire life. And I want to thank my family who couldn't be here, and if I can't see, it's because these flashing lights over here, because my boyfriend is here, so I'd like to thank him too. But this is really amazing, because to be recognized by other women, there's just something very special about it. And so I just want to thank everyone, especially thanks for the encouragement and the support. And Words, Wine, and Women has been around for 2 seasons. We hope to be around for many, many more. So if you get a chance, check us out, wordswinewomen.com, and I'll see you on the web. Thank you.
and to a lady who spent 7 years and made all her people spend 7 years to bring you a documentary about Allen Iverson. That's awesome. Zatella Beatty, come on.
Thank you, and good evening to everyone. A special thank you to Women in Film for acknowledging me for getting this documentary done, which took quite a long time. I just want to take a quick moment to thank the team that helped make Iverson come to life. And maybe if you could just wave. I first want to thank our amazing editor. I just don't know I would have gotten through it without him. Steve Perry. Thank you, Corey Jacobs, our composer. And thank you to some people who have supported me as well along the way, a couple of our production coordinators, Susan James, Linda Shaw, Joachim Weltz, the woman who guided me through this, through all those maddening hours, Miss Fumi, and Daniel Cummings. And I think two of our other producers, I'm not sure if they're still here, but that's Ted Fay and Mike Marengo, who's done an amazing job. And of course, one very other important person who gave us craft services, we tease him, but that's Ron Orr. Thank you. And also I want to acknowledge someone who surprised me and came this evening, and that is Miss Desiree Jackson. She is the, some of you may remember a film called The Color Purple. She was the young Celie from The Color Purple, so thank you. And me and Des were in Sister Act together. We were both teenagers. And so we didn't know what path we would take in life, and here we both are. So thank you so much for coming and supporting me this evening. And I feel blessed to have done a documentary on a person, Allen Iverson, who is going into the Hall of Fame in September, along with Shaquille O'Neal and Yao Ming. So thank you.
So we know that Digital Hollywood is packed full of some amazing panels, and we understand that some of the people couldn't make it out to our DigiFest today, so we wanted to extend to them an opportunity to ask some questions about some of the content that they may have missed. So if you have a question, feel free to raise your hand and direct it to one of our panelists. In the back. So in case some of the other people could hear, she was asking about how, about Zatella's 7-year journey for the making of the documentary Iverson and why it took 7 years.
One of the reasons it took so long, when we first started doing it, Allen was at the top of his game. He was probably the biggest player in the NBA, you know, next to Michael Jordan, so it was almost possible to get next to him. He is very loyal and trusting, and it's very difficult to kind of get in that inner circle. So several of those years took us being around him and him, you know, giving us his trust. So that was a big part of it, and that's one of the reasons it took so long, and that was for him to trust and open up and feel like we would do the right thing by him giving us this access.
Karen. So the question, of course, is what's next for all of our fabulous female filmmakers?
Should we go down the line?
Yes, let's do it.
I'm in The Nice Guys from Warner Brothers. I have one line, but it's with Ryan Gosling. So that opens May 21st, I think, and I'm writing more Another Day with You.
I am getting ready to make a new movie this October. It's called Unscripted right now. That's the working title, with Gary Levinson. And he was the executive producer on this movie. And Dennis is embarking upon a couple other new ventures as well, the other executive producer who's out there, and thank you very much. So we're working on a couple other movies that are not yet able to be talked about.
My husband and I are just about to finish a book that we've been working on, a photo book for 5 years. If I say the title, it would be offensive, so I can't. It's about anger. I am working for the last 6 months on a project about opiate addiction and heroin. So I actually will be with the FDA, kind of tracking medications that are being approved for opiate addiction and interviewing all kinds of people around the country. I'm continuing to work on that and a bunch of other stuff and whatever jobs are coming in next.
Well, season 1 of my show was in my Manhattan studio apartment. Season 2 was my LA apartment, and I don't feel like moving again. So season 3 is going to be a tiny house project. So I'm going to be designing, building a tiny house, and filming the process.
We've completed 2 seasons of Words, Wine, and Women, so there's a lot of wine out there, y'all. So we have to do some more seasons, so we're gearing up to shoot season 3. Thank you.
My next project, once again, lands me in the world of sports, and this one will be in the boxing world, and it will probably be out sometime next year. So sports again.
Being a representative of women in film, I'll get to you in a second, Mel, sorry. What I wanted to ask you each individually, because we didn't necessarily get to touch upon it today, is how important was leveraging the community of women to get your project made, and how supportive were they, and were they inspirational? Did they serve in the creative process or the technical process, and how important was it to have women on the job with you?
Well, we had several women on our crew. Our producer, Lori Leitzel, used to run Peter Guber's office when Peter Guber was running Sony. So our producer, Lori Leitzel, could run the world. And she's a very good friend of mine. Everybody who worked on our show was a friend. And it was essential. It was essential that I could go to her, that she understood where I was coming from, where we were coming from, the kind of truth we wanted to tell in a humorous way. I knew she got it, and it was essential. It was essential to have her and all the other women who worked, not exclusively women, but many other women on our team.
I, like you, Jen, work in the tech industry. So ever since I was in my early 20s, I run a post-production facility. Dennis Ho owns it, Digital Jungle. And I am many times the only woman around a lot of men. And it's wonderful when women are also part of the technology world with us. One of them is Lisa Barrow, who was our mixer. It was fantastic to have a woman mixer with us. However, with saying that, I'm going to tell you how many women surrounded me. I didn't pick the people because they were women. I picked the people that were the best people for the job. And I think that you guys would all agree that that's how we do the work that we need to do. It's always who's best for the job, and we would like to be recognized the same way in a man's world. Really, who's the best one? I had amazing women around me. Besides the amazing cast of women that we had, I had Deanna Shapiro was my supervising producer. I had wonderful script supervisors. I had a great DIT that was a woman, Shauna Brown. Just so many women in my company when we were making this film. I'm sorry, I'm trying to think of all of them because there were so many. I just had a lot of women surrounding me because they were the right person for the job. And it was fantastic. And it's great also when they bridge over to the technology side and we get to work in that way. And I had some really great men working with me too. And sometimes you might bump up against working with men and you're the boss of them. I did not. It was really a great situation, and I'm the boss over at Digital Jungle, and working with older men. It's really nice when you're thought of as the little girl, and then you still get the job done.
Specific to the campaign for Gillette, the crew is crew, good crew. Doesn't matter if they're male or female. If you want the truth is most of the crew is male. There are females on our crew, without a doubt. I make sure of that. But and I work hard to make that happen. In terms of the creative team, though, the creative team behind Gillette, that was women. That was a female art director, a female copywriter, and a female account executive. And the piece definitely is what it is because of that, without a doubt. There was, as far as the client, Procter & Gamble, that's a long list, and I don't pay much attention to that. What I paid attention to is when they allowed us to cast real women, real girls that we found on the streets of New York for these roles, and when they allowed us to create vignettes around who they really were as people, not who they wanted them to be. So that's a huge list of people who allowed that to happen, both men and women, and that's what I'm most grateful for.
Sure.
Regarding real people, real women
Yep.
That are cast, are you saying these are found people that are also not professional actors?
Yes.
Not SAG members? These are
The first campaign was a mix. We do both. We look at both. We go to Washington Square Park and we find people, as well as we kind of do traditional casting. Based on, I'm looking for an athlete. I don't care what kind of athlete it is. I just want an athlete. I want a scientist. Find me a scientist, So it's usually a mix. People have a hard time telling, and that's what we like. You don't know.
I guess I'm an all-woman production since I'm an editor, I'm a filmmaker, I'm in front of the camera, I'm behind the camera, I'm pre-production, post-production. But that being said, I do have an amazing group of dear friends, all women, that are my power mastermind that help me get through day to day, my support group. So I wouldn't be here today without Christina, Carolina, and Lisa. Thank you.
Women are so essential to my project that I threw the word women in the title. It was women are just the inspiration of this entire project for me. I just didn't feel as if the way women are portrayed in media today reflected at all me and my friends and how we supported each other and hung out with each other and talked to each other. And so I wanted to reflect what I thought was kind of my truth. So women are really important to the project, and I had a female director, again, not because she was a female, because she was just a really great director. And the support that I've gotten from women, women I know and women I don't know, has been completely overwhelming to me, and such support that I think we're on to something, and we just want to continue to reach out to women even more.
I definitely think women are vital to the whole process, and choosing a piece that was in the sports world, I saw, not that many women doing especially what I was doing, but it was great to have a network of women that I could call on and that gave me support throughout this journey, which included Desiree Jackson, another director, Susan, Linda, Fumi. I really couldn't have made it through without their support. So again, women, more power to all of us. And let's keep doing more films and, breaking the barriers.
big question. So you're basically asking what thoughts and experiences these women have had with the women's perspective and where it's going in the entertainment industry.
And what's the value? Like, what you bring? I'm just curious.
Well, I'll start with that. I'm going to address that in two parts. When I was casting my show, because I cast it, I was very conscious of creating opportunity for as many, I hate all these words, but as much diversity as I could. So there's, not everybody's white in my show. That's very conscious. I think coming from the perspective of a female, perhaps I'm just more aware of that. Somebody of color may say the exact same thing. I think that's valuable. I also think, and this is speaking so broadly, we can be more collaborative. It was very important, and it was so enriching for me to bring everybody in. We had such a party the entire time filming the show. On our panel today, every single person said it was such a good time. I think the love and the communal feeling that went into that is a female thing. It's not that it isn't available to everybody, but it's more easily accessible. We bring that to the table, and I think there's still a tremendous missed marketing opportunity. Your ad was so inspiring. When you can touch that, you can sell things. So that's what a woman can bring to the table.
Wow. I don't know what I can add to that, but I grew up in the acting and on the tech side, so on both sides. I think it's there's a lot of double standards that happen as you grow up and you're working in the industry. What I have come to for myself is to just be the very best that I could be, to learn the craft that I wanted to learn, that I wanted to know, and continue to be. So when I am in a group, and if they happen to be more dominantly male, that they definitely communicate differently than women. And so I've had to learn that communication skill to get my opinions and my information out there, especially in the tech world, so they could hear what was important. Often they would be like, that doesn't work, but then will you try it? Can we try it? And then they try it and it does work, or something changes, then they start building respect, I think, for you as a person, not as a woman, just as a person, and then they look to you to solve problems and then to maybe produce and create things. And rather than, because we consider ourselves minorities in the workplace, right? Oh, there's many minorities in that situation. I don't look at anybody that way, so I just have to be the change that I want to see in the world. So I just focus on being that change that I want to see in the world, so I don't see anybody else that way. I just look at them as like, what can they bring to the party? And I totally agree with you about the feminine side. We're the nurturers, we're the lovers, and the nesters, or whatever we might be bringing to that. Why not have that be part of anything that we're building together? Because it takes two of us, a male and a female, to make a baby. Everything else that we're creating, it should be the same way. So hopefully we'll just keep building that world and that love with each other, so we can collaborate and co-create an awesome place, work environment, home environment, whatever world, so we can, work together and make it a better place.
I feel I'm in a different industry. When you say women in Hollywood, it's interesting. I don't know. I don't know if I feel like I'm in Hollywood. I'm in the advertising world. And in fact, I went to a panel today about advertising, because there were a couple of them today, and it was all men. It was all men, interestingly enough, and not surprising. So I feel, and these are just my thoughts, I still feel like my world is pretty antiquated when it comes to females, and certainly when it comes to female directors. The way I've gotten through all these years is I just haven't cared. I have never cared. In the world of commercials, you get boards in lots. It's not like features, I think, right? And where you work on something for so long. This is
In, out.
in, out, in, out. And so I lose so much. I lose so many jobs, and I probably lose a bunch of them because of my voice and being a female. I know I do, but I don't care because I also get a bunch. In terms of answering your specific question, what I bring to it, I talked about this, and I'll say it now if you weren't in the panel. In our industry, working with somebody like P&G, it's baby steps. It's baby steps for them to come to the light, basically, and see what I think needed to be done. So the first round we cast girls, lovely girls who had all different, the skills that they had, and we used those to form our stories. But they were pretty girls. They were, because it's P&G and it's selling razors. And then when they came back a year later, and I wasn't sweating for the job anymore, we said, now we're gonna cast this the way I wanna cast this. And I want more diversity, and I want different bodies. And if we're not down with that, then you should get somebody else. And they did it. So that's what I brought to it. I had to be fearless. And going forward, I will continue to do that. Unfortunately, I know I'm coming across sounding aggressive, but that's what I've had to become in the world that I work in.
Well, I guess I'm not really in Hollywood. The YouTube world is a bit different since you kind of work in isolation. So, and I was lucky to be raised to think that I could do anything. So for me, there was never, this is what boys do and this is what girls do. And I ended up being a building engineer and worked for years with just men, and there was 10% of my class was women. And I worked on construction sites with guys, and I guess because I never felt like that was something to be, I'm like, yeah, I can do it, why can't I? Like, there's no reason why I can't. And I think when you approach something that way, I don't know, I just never had any problems with being treated differently because I was a woman, because I never saw myself as being different because I was a woman. So I just approach everything like that, including what I do today. I might be an exception, but I don't know that. If I don't think that, then I'm not. So that's kind of how I approach it.
I guess coming from a perspective of hosting a show, I've only been in Los Angeles 5 years. So when I drove across the Los Angeles County line, I never for once thought I was going to be able to take the conventional route. I am not a size 0. I am not 21. I'm a lot of nots, but I am a lot of ands. And so I figured I would just create my own path and not think about what anybody else really thought of it or what I was supposed to do or was not supposed to do. It was just the way I went into the entire thing from day one. And I come from a legal background. I practiced law in New York City for a very long time, so I'm very used to being the only everywhere. And the thing of it is that I guess the best way to answer, and not at all come across as defensive, to answer the question of what can women bring is the same thing a man can, point blank. And I think that's what it's all about, just simply getting to the point where everyone views us as complete equals, and whatever you can bring, I can bring too. My flavor to it might be a little bit different, but that's okay, because our spices and our herbs when we eat is what actually gives a little spice, a little kick, and a little taste. So the sprinkling of the different is the good stuff.
You actually took the words right out of my mouth. I was like, anything a man can do, a woman can do, and perhaps even better. So I think that we bring a unique perspective that's sometimes overlooked by men.
How are
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Over here. Yes.
I would too. We're in the middle of distribution negotiations right now. Please go to our website, brokenmemoriesmovie.com. Our Facebook link is there. I think it's Broken Memories Broken Memories Move Movie on Facebook, and on Twitter it's Broken Memories Move. But our links are right on our website. I'm sorry I don't have the social media right at the top of my head. We will keep you updated because a lot of people are asking. There's a huge demographic that's out there, and convincing the distributors that there's a large untapped demographic for this type of beautiful family story that is about a gut-wrenching disease, but done in a very sweet and loving way, that really there's hope and opportunities in the end. It's a little different. Hollywood's a little different, but they're changing. Things are changing and shifting. So please go to brokenmemoriesmovie.com, and then we'll keep you updated, because we are very close to hopefully having a distribution situation. Also this summer, we'll be doing a fundraising event for Alzheimer's Greater Los Angeles. We're partnering with them, and we have a lot of sponsors right at home, Compassionate Choice. We'll have a lot of sponsorships that will be putting on a fundraising private screening this summer in Los Angeles, and it will be a pretty big event for us, and we'll definitely keep you posted on that. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
If we don't have any other questions, I was going to ask, following along, and thanks for teeing up that question, it was perfect. I'd like to go down the line because some of these people obviously weren't able to attend our fest today. I'd love for you to give shout outs to where you can find your content and your social media. And I challenge you, coming from a business affairs perspective, where you often have to pitch your content, give me the best hashtag for your content today.
Another Day with You is available on Vimeo. We are also in a lot of festivals. There's some very big festivals that have begun to accept web series, and I've been taking advantage of that, and we're getting into a lot of festivals. So we'll be running the festival circuit all this year. And Another Day with You is about two long married, mostly normal people. And God help you, it's about living with me, frankly. That's what it's about. So if you think that might be fun, you can check out Another Day with You on Vimeo, and our link is on our Facebook page, and I'm on Twitter at Ms. Amy Goddard.
I'd like to suggest a hashtag because I was so inspired, because this is the content that woke us up this morning, and I personally loved 30-year-old spine and hips. 30-year-old spine and hips. Hashtag 30-year-old spine and hips. All right. Cassie, you told us www.brokenmemoriesmovie.com.
I did.
So what's your hashtag?
I'm just going to say hashtag broken memories, but that's kind of boring, isn't it? Let's say hashtag dreams really do come true.
Something that Rance Howard scripted is saying. I mean, he was just so fantastic in the film.
Oh, he's so fantastic. This is the role. If you have not seen Rance Howard play a lead role in a movie, which he has played over 300 movies, and he has all these really great character parts, this is his role of a lifetime. And I really hope, okay, this will be what I'll give this out, shout out for Rance. This is hashtag Rance Howard needs to win an Oscar. It is his time.
Love that. Thank you, Cassie. All right, Amy, you're up.
Oh, okay, so I'm website. We have a website, www.reese, that's my husband's last name. Everybody misspells it. That's why I didn't take his last name. So it's RIESSHILL. That's my last name, reesehill.com. We're with a production company. That's who we were with today, Anne Marie Mackay, and our production company that we're with is Wondros. It's Jesse Dillon's company, Bob Dylan's son, and that's Wondros Commercials. What else? Oh, we have an Instagram, and there you'll start to see the photos from the Anger Project eventually, and that's reese.hill. That's our Instagram. I did my 4th tweet today, so don't find me tweeting. I'm not a good
We'll probably
tweeter.
stick with use your
I try
and,
to
because
tweet,
that's a pretty
yeah.
fantastic
And I'll stick
hashtag.
with use your and. Yeah, exactly.
And can I give my personal
Absolutely.
social as well? It would be at Cassie, KASSICREWS. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter and all that good stuff.
All right, Isabel, you're up.
Oh, you can find my series on YouTube. Channel is Engineer Your Space. Website is engineeryourspace.com. I have lots of content there. You can find me on Facebook under engineeryourspace.com, Twitter. I'm not a big tweeter either. It's EY Space, Instagram, Pinterest. And my hashtag is tough. I mean, I've been using one that's EYS inspired because I get all kinds of content that people send me. So people send me projects that they've done inspired by my show and from all over the world, and I love to share that with other people. So that's my sort of engagement campaign, hashtag EYS inspired.
Terry, you're up.
You can find us at wordswinewomen.com, and you can also find us hashtag on Twitter, Instagram, Periscope, whatever else came out today. At Words Wine Women. Also, you can find me personally on social media at TJ Wagging Her Tail. And yeah, it's a great story. I got it from my mom. And how to say hashtag Real Women Rocks is a great one.
Yeah.
You can find Iverson is currently running on Showtime. It's also on Netflix. It just came on Netflix, I think, like 2 weeks ago. It's on iTunes. And a hashtag would be, we talking about practice? And hashtag Hall of Fame. And then the website is Iverson the Movie, and that's on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and all of those places, like you said, that may have occurred in the last few hours.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. We're going to put this on the Digital Hollywood website, so you'll be able to find all these fabulous women and all of their social media sites, as well as the hashtags that they were quoted today. And I'd just like to close today's event by saying thank you to Digital Hollywood, Women in Film, my co-hosts, colleagues, and of course, kudos to these fabulous women who've created something that is absolutely unforgettable and inspirational. Thank you so much. And as a side note, we decided that because for those of you who are big Prince fans, because tomorrow actually will have been 15 days. If you're interested in participating in a little super short production and would like to either sing or speak a line to Nothing Compares to You, we're going to put a little fan video together for the interwebs as a kind of love you note from his fans here at Digital Hollywood.